1. The Imitator Girl. One night I got up to go to the bathroom. I was walking down the hallway with my phone in hand when I bumped into a girl in a white dress. Without even looking up, I said, "Sorry," and kept walking. But that night, I wasn't in the dorm. I was at my own house. The next day, my boyfriend came to pick me up for the movies. When I stepped outside, he said, "I just saw you staring at me from the upstairs window. You were wearing your white dress. Why did you change?" But I never owned a white dress, never owned a white. 2. The real owner of the house. One evening, I was watching TV in the living room when I noticed something moving in the bedroom. A man walked from the closet to the other side of the room. He stopped, looked straight at me, and put his finger to his lips as if to say, "Shh." His face was bloody, and the back of his head looked like it was missing a piece. Then he turned around, walked back to the closet, and vanished. Later, I learned the previous tenant had shot himself in that very spot. We'd always ignored the hole in the ceiling. Turns out it was a bullet hole.
3. The Warm Little Guest. I work in a morgue. Strange things happen all the time, but this one stayed with me. I was preparing the body of a child so the family could see him. Suddenly, I felt someone tug my hair. Then I heard a giggle and the door slammed shut. Every machine in the room stopped at once. I kept working until I felt a hand on my shoulder, then warmth around my waist, exactly where a small child's arms would reach. It felt like someone was hugging me. 4. The Night Watchers. When I was a child, I used to look out my bedroom window and see 3 faces staring back at me. They had no hair, no noses, no mouths, just blank, watching faces. My sister always forced me to keep the window shut at night. Years later, when we talked about that house, I told her what I used to see. She froze and said, "I saw the same faces. That's why I made you close the window." Later, we found out a murder had been committed in that house before we moved in. 5. My mother's mysterious arrival. A few years ago, I was upstairs playing on the computer. Suddenly, I heard the front door open and my mother's voice calling out, "Amber, I'm home." I rushed downstairs to help her with the bags, but the house was empty. Her car wasn't even in the driveway. My mother never came home that night. 6. The devil came for me. 2 years ago, I was lying in bed, half asleep. Suddenly, I felt something grab my feet and pull me down. I sat up, but then I couldn't breathe. It felt like I was being choked. I struggled for minutes until my mother ran into the room. The next morning, I couldn't remember much, but my mother told me she had dreamed that night, that the devil was trying to take me away from her. 7. The Old Neighbor's Ghost. We had a sweet old neighbor. He always tended his garden, and we'd chat whenever I passed by. One day, I waved and greeted him, but he didn't respond. I thought maybe I was bothering him, so I walked on. A few days later, there was a funeral at his house. I found out he had died of a heart attack on a walk in the forest a week earlier. His body was only discovered that day, but I had seen him alive just a few days ago. 8. It opens every night. I was visiting my brother's family in their old 18th century house. One night I was playing with my little nephew when the TV suddenly turned on by itself, showing static. I froze, but my 3-year-old nephew calmly walked over and turned it off. I asked him, "How did you know it was going to turn on?" He said, "Because they turn it on every night at this time." 9. The phone call from home. I was working at the shop with my mother when her phone rang. The caller ID said home. She looked at me and asked, "Who's at the house right now?" But no one was home. My father was at work, my sister at school. My grandmother, who used to live with us, had passed away 6 months earlier. And we didn't even have a landline anymore. The account had been closed after she died. We tried calling the number back, but it never connected. 10. Siri. I miss my mom. My mom bought me my first iPhone just before she passed away. After she died, I sometimes found Siri open on my phone with little conversations on the screen. One day at my new job, my phone was on the desk beside me. Siri was open again. This time the message said, "So, what are you doing?" I broke down crying, because that was the exact phrase my mom and I used to say to each other.